All right, good morning. It's another episode of Monday Morning Quarterback with, as always, my co-host, Mike DiStefano,
I wish I was the host.
and of course, your Travis Joe. I don't know why I didn't say my name first. It's probably because
well,
I just woke up.
well, the thumbnail says Joe with Joe and Mike, not
Right,
not Mike with Joe.
right. So, good morning, guys. Let's just basically that's what I want to say. Good morning, and thank you for joining. Let's start off the show by quickly saying if you do stumble upon our show, if you're new here, please subscribe, hit that like button if you like what you hear. If you don't like what you hear, get the fuck out. And please stay to the end and let me know what you think. Give us your comments, come chat with us about some football. And if you didn't happen to catch a live stream, then just drop a comment and let us know. Let us know what team you like. Let us know what, get your dick hard in the morning. Mike, I'm in a good mood.
You really just woke up after saying that.
I'm in a good mood. That's what it comes
No,
down
no, no,
to.
no, 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 no. We are in a great mood.
And look, if it's short-lived, it's short-lived. But I want to say,
Do you remember when I said last week they can go 4-1 with these last 5 games because I said they were going to lose to Seattle?
yeah,
Now there's a possibility we can go 5-0.
well, I don't know about 5-0. Look, there's a huge hill they have to climb. They only have the only weak spot they really do have in their schedule really is Dallas, and that's the last game of the year. They still have to play Arizona next week, and then they have to play Cleveland.
I think right.
I think Cleveland. I think
I think
Cleveland is
Cleveland's going to
probably.
be the harder game than Arizona right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Arizona's on a downward spiral.
You're forgetting about Baltimore, though, dude.
I hate Lamar, so fuck them.
Yeah, no. There's a okay. So there's a difference between hating a team, right? And look who it is.
Hey, what's up, Tank? Your team takes.
James Mooney. What's up, dude? Long time no hear from. Long time no see.
Dumbest fucking play ever, as said by Rex Ryan this morning on Get Up. And we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah, we'll get into the Jets in a minute. But look, there's a difference between hating a team. Like you hate the Dallas Cowboys. You hate them. But when you think, let's say the Dallas Cowboys showed a lot better promise than they have in the last few weeks. Let's pretend Dak never got hurt. You could hate the Dallas Cowboys all you want. If they were at full strength and if they were still playing like they were.
If Dak was at full strength right now, we wouldn't be talking about us being in first place.
All right, but I'm just saying you wouldn't give them a W against the Cowboys so easily. So that's all I'm saying. It's just I hate Lamar Jackson too. I think he's very overrated. I'm not a fan of the Ravens. I've never was.
I hated Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. I hate them, and we're touching what I talked about last week, where I went off on my tirade, and I apologize for the foul language if they got offended by what I said.
Dude, let me tell you something. The language you fucking used last week, I couldn't fucking take it. I couldn't. I've never heard a fucking curse word in my life. So I'm still recovering, dude.
I got you cursing right now because of that. But no, I mean, look, I hated Lamar Jackson to begin with. I hate the Ravens to begin with. What happened last week, I hate them even more than the Dallas Cowboys, probably.
All right. I mean, I definitely hate them more than the Dallas Cowboys. I always have.
Although I hope they do beat them on Tuesday because that puts them further back.
Oh yeah, of course you got to be a Ravens fan quickly for Tuesday, just for Tuesday. Once Tuesday's over, then that's
it. That's it. We'll go back quarter cocksuckers afterwards.
So instead of going too far into the schedule, now I did see a graphic on the television last night. I didn't get a chance to really soak in all the other teams, and I should have just rewound it because I could. It's live TV, but I can rewind it on Hulu. But I did see, so in the NFC East, as it stands, the Giants have a 66% chance of now winning. I thought it said 66.
ESPN has it 68.
Okay.
And Washington most likely
was the second best, but that was down to like 17% for Washington, something like that.
Right, but the Giants right now are at 68. If Washington loses to Steelers tonight,
Hey, Keikov, no, it's no. There's not just you. You're not alone. But thank you
hello,
for
James is here.
you got James here. You got a few others here that haven't commented yet. They're just lurking. But thank you for dropping a comment.
But that's why. But if you look at what is going on, at 68% with Washington losing to the Steelers this afternoon, if that does happen.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The Giants' probabilities go up over 70%.
Right. Yeah. No. Right now, as it stands, this is the Giants' division to lose. They would literally have to lose every game, or almost every game. At least if they lose 3 of the next 5 games they have. Wait, what is their record now? 5-7.
5-7. So I mean,
4 games. If they lose 3 of the next 4
even
games,
even if they lose,
we got a Browns fan here, and we were just talking about the Browns because after Arizona, I believe that's the game they play Cleveland, right?
Yes, Arizona, Cleveland, Baltimore, Dallas.
Oh, okay.
In that order.
That's what I figured.
So even if we pull out 3 wins out of that, so let's just say they lose to Cleveland, we're still going to go 8-8.
Right.
And if we lose to Cleveland, let's just say we lose to Cleveland and Baltimore and go 2-2, we still got 7-9. We still can win this. We'll still win the division, I think.
I know, but you still want to. I mean, you want to do a little bit more than win the division. You want to be a little convincing going into the playoffs.
Look, I want them to sweep the table, and then and it's always, remember something. There's always a thing. There's always that team that's on that hot streak.
Yeah.
That shows up in the playoffs, and then all of a sudden they're unbeatable.
Yeah, and that's what I was just about to say. James even said Baker tore it up for the Browns, and the Giants' win was incredible. It was because it was unthinkable. They had a 17% chance to win that game.
We had the biggest.
No.
We had the biggest upset.
Yeah, according to FPI is a percentage, like a next gen kind of stat thing. But according to FPI, the Giants had a 13.7% chance of winning yesterday. And K-Cove said your win yesterday made me think your game against us isn't an automatic win. And I'm glad. I'm really glad somebody outside of New York says that. Now, I will say this: did I think they were going to be able to beat Seattle? No, but I really did feel like within the next 5 we had at that time, I felt Cleveland was the biggest threat.
I told you last week, and I even said it the other day when we did the sports show. I got a damn good feeling about this game and that we were going to pull off the upset. I told you this. Why? On air that they could do that. I said that they scored 24 to 27 points.
Right, you did say that, yeah. But so, it doesn't matter. But it's their defense that pretty much won that game. Let me ask you this, though.
This defense has become a stellar all of a sudden.
If Baker doesn't go off as much as he does in the first half of that game, if he doesn't score 4 touchdowns, which nobody this season has in the first half. No, I'm asking you, does your outlook a couple of weeks ahead of time against the Browns change? Meaning like now that the Browns are 9-3, first winning season since 2007, because they can't go less than 9-7.
First time they went 9-3 since 1994.
So let me ask you this: if they weren't 9-3, if they would have lost, let's say, or if Baker didn't have that type of performance, is what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Do you think the Giants still have an easy game against the Browns? Because remember, we were talking about that a couple of weeks ago when we were.
No. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this is an easy game.
No.
What I'm saying is the Giants can beat them heads up and pull up a win. I'm not saying that whatever they look. You got to realize something. There's 3 games that Cleveland played this year that were under horrendous weather conditions.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
All right. They had that monsoon a couple of weeks ago that they played where they had to delay the game for 35 minutes.
That was horrible.
Okay. And the running game won it for them. I mean, look, and I said it. Odell Beckham Jr. is gone from Cleveland
Yeah,
after
Keiko,
he comes back from his injury.
after Mike says what he's got to say, let me know what you feel about Odell, since he's a former Giants wide receiver, and we had to deal with him for a few seasons. What do you? What's your take on Odell Beckham Jr.? What do the Cleveland fans think of him?
I know we're supposed to be talking about the Giants and what they did yesterday, but now we're getting into the Cleveland thing in the schedule.
Well, yeah, because we're going to get into the Cleveland game, I believe, right after. I'm pretty sure right after we talk about the Giants, I have. Maybe not. Maybe not.
So, do you want to hold off on what I got to say about?
Yeah, let's get to Cleveland.
Giants and then
let's get what we talk about when we get to Cleveland. But I will say this. I will say this about his comment there, because it really is the truth, and it's dwelling on me a little bit more because it makes sense. A lot of teams, a lot of fans outside of New York that aren't Giants fans, we're going to go for our team no matter what. We picked our team to win against Seattle. I really didn't think they were going to, but it's still my team, so I'm still going to root for them just because of whatever.
Right.
But this was the first team that was a winning team that we beat. This was the first team over 500 that we won against. So this is a big win. This is a changer, because what it does is
we beat them in their home stadium. That's another thing.
It's the first loss. This is the first loss that Seattle suffered this season at all. They're 5-1 now at home. So I just want to say that I'm glad they won this game. It's a big game. It's a momentum booster for them. But a confident booster. But what it also does is it shows teams like Cleveland like, all right, well, maybe they aren't going to be an automatic win. I mean, I kind of like the advantage that they had when they were under the radar, rather than still be under the radar. Let teams think that they are what they are, and then they surprise you. But look, and this is all I'm going to say about the Giants and Cleveland matchup until we get to the Cleveland game that happened yesterday. But Giants have a lot to cover. The Cleveland Browns have tremendous receivers, even minus Odell.
Chubb. This was it. They got Chubb and Hunt.
And
what's his name? Hunt.
Yeah.
Then they got Landry. Then you got
Peoples. Peoples. Peoples Jordan.
What a fucking catch he made yesterday. We'll talk about that later. But
there's one other receiver. I can't think of. It's Landry, Peoples Jordan,
and
try to think of that, because he just commented. Okay, my opinion from Odell might be surprising. I think Odell being gone. No, it's not surprising, because that's what we're saying to him. That's what we've been saying, and that's what happened here in New York.
Yeah, K-Cope, that's what we said, and a lot of people even on ESPN said Baker is better without Odell on that field. It's been said by Rex Ryan. It's been said by Stephen A. Smith.
Look at Baker's 4 touchdowns. Look at Baker's 4. What do you call it? Is it 4 touchdowns? Yeah, 4 touchdowns. Duh, I said that. Look at Baker's 4 touchdowns. They're to 4 different people. He's more relaxed. You could tell he's more relaxed. He doesn't have to worry about Odell or whatever.
He doesn't worry about Case yelling at him for not throwing it to him.
Exactly. Oh, give me the ball. Give me the ball. Look, Odell has tremendous talent.
It makes you wonder, though, if they didn't have Odell, and I said this already, Eli wouldn't have those 3 shitty seasons he had before he left.
Well, there was a little bit more. There was more problems than just Odell with that Giants team. It's always been their offensive line. Always been. I mean, Manning was the most sacked quarterback, I believe.
That O-line looks so much better now than it did.
Yeah, which is weird, because all they had to do was move things around. It's basically the same people. It's basically the same O-line that they started the season with, but they just moved pieces around. They did add and subtract a little bit, but no. So Keikov, your opinion is not surprising, because it's exactly how we feel as Giant fans, as fans that were, firsthand knowledge of what Odell can do, and his talent. Don't get me wrong. As I said, he's a very talented receiver. I just wish he wasn't such a head case. There are just some players that have so much talent, but they're either too full of themselves, and that's the other name. It's Higgins.
Yeah,
I don't know who's Hodge. But that's right. I forgot about Higgins. Higgins is the one I was trying to think of.
Jones, Landry. So they got 5 wide receivers that are good.
Well, generally teams have 5 wide receivers, 4 or 5 wide receivers, depending on their sets. But one of those might be a tight end. He would know more. He would know more than me. But
Speaking of tight ends,
what? Did you see mine?
yours is gorgeous. Speaking of tight ends, could it be possible we could draft a fucking tight end that doesn't drop balls?
Yeah, Ingram. He needs to catch the ball. Look, don't get me wrong. If you rewatch the game and you rewatch the highlights, well, they're not going to show those as highlights because he dropped.
Yeah.
Some of those drops were contested, and that one drop that he had where he had to jump 8 feet in the air was contested. Look, you want somebody with sure hands, of course. There's no doubt about that. He does drop some stupid passes. But there were a few in that game that were just contested. They were just played well by the secondary of Seattle. And was that the one that was against Bobby Wagner?
Yeah.
That's the one that he had to jump 8 feet in the air. Now, that was a mismatch. I don't know why that was thrown because we even said it. Why aren't they fucking running the ball? But I think it's because
Jason Garrett's a fucking moron. That's why.
I will say this, though. And let's just get into it. Let's just get into the Giants game really quick. Look, they won. I'm glad. It was a very, very big defensive effort. They held Seattle out of the fucking end zone. Who would have thought the Seahawks didn't score a touchdown until like 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter? It was like 6 and change. That was when they scored their first touchdown. The end of the half was 5-0. It was a football score, a baseball score. The Giants defense did what they needed to do. They got at Russell. They caused a couple of turnovers. They did what they needed to do. And they contained him well. I'm saying
they contained him.
They contained him well. But the thing is too, and that's why I'm trying to fluctuate between this week and 2 weeks from now. It's one thing to be able to contain the quarterback, which they did well. They contained Russell, who can scramble. I mean, he had some yards against us, but they pretty much contained him. They didn't allow him to run much. With a team like Cleveland, they're not as one-dimensional because let's face it, they do have Carson as a running back. The Seahawks, but most of the times they're pass heavy. Cleveland could beat you either on the ground or in the air, and they have 2 dynamic running backs. It's not just one; they have 2. They have Nick Chubb, and they have Kareem Hunt. It could be a starter. He's a backup right now, spelling Chubb, but he can be a starter on any other team. So that is my fear with Cleveland because they have as many weapons. And look how many weapons K-Cove even announced.
And you got to worry about those trick plays that they do where...
They do a lot of trick plays. They do. Landry, I think, had one yesterday, didn't he? He's on record for throwing a pass, so he had to have a pass.
Yeah, he also got a roughing the passer on that one too. They got it on that pass he threw. There was a 15-yard penalty on that one.
It is possible. It's possible that Seattle might have taken the Giants lightly. Did slacked on training. I really.
You know what? I doubt it. I don't think they slacked. I think you know what? And I was going to bring this point up to you, and I was going to ask you this yesterday when we were texting back and forth. Is this like one of Russell's worst seasons? I mean, I know they got a winning record. I know they're getting.
I don't think it's his worst.
But Russell doesn't look like Russell.
Well, that was what I was just about to say too. I mean, before this game, let's be honest, there were weeks that they did not look like the Seattle Seahawks. They had 3 losses already, and they weren't playing Seattle football even in their wins.
I mean, they went from being like number 2 to number 5 yesterday in the playoff picture right now.
And their defense is atrocious. It's one of the worst defenses in football.
That's why I said, look, we sat there.
We scored 17 points.
And I even said to you, I said it took two and a half quarters to finally figure out run the football. And I kept saying the whole game, the whole first half, I'm saying, why are they passing? Why is he passing? Why is he passing?
Mm-hmm.
Jason Garrett's a fucking moron. I keep saying that all the time. And Jason Garrett didn't do his job as a coordinator the right way. Run the fucking ball.
James said Russell was a shell of himself yesterday. He really lost a step. He did, and it wasn't in just yesterday's game. He's been looking a little iffy. He's still a great quarterback.
No, he's a great quarterback, but he just this season he doesn't look as dominant as he always was.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree.
I mean, there's times where he dominated that division.
Our defense is just trying to. I'm not trying to. Our defense is just figuring him out more. Is that what it is? When he goes into a good defense, maybe he's just stuck. He couldn't run the ball much. You know, when I mean run, he couldn't really scramble much. And the Giants had really good coverage against his receivers. So what does any quarterback do? Even Patrick Mahomes against the Broncos defense last night.
Oh God.
And we'll get into that because that was a big game last night. Well, I mean, it wasn't a big game, but you know what I mean. It was a close game. It was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. But Denver's defense has actually won a couple of good games for them this season. And don't forget too. When I was looking at Denver's schedule, and I know
what happens when you actually put a real quarterback on the field with a team.
Yeah, they had Drew Lock on the.
I mean, no Taraji Goodell. That's what a quarterback's supposed to look like on the field.
Exactly. It was night and day.
I was hoping they had like a life-size cutout of Goodell on the sidelines, and just every time he walked by it, just give it the finger. But then I said I'd probably fine him and suspend him.
Mike, what injury does Ben have?
Who? Ben.
What? This is the first time here. I knew about Dupree. Dupree's out for the year. I told this to Mike because him and TJ lead the team in sacks. So without Dupree, that's a big loss. I mean, I don't think it's going to be it's going to be an impact for sure for the defense, but that's still just one guy. They still have Watt. The Steelers have the number one defense in the league. So I don't think, as much as Alex Smith has just been a really good, has probably been the only positive story out of that Washington football team this year so far, has been Alex Smith and what he's been able to do, sometimes in losing efforts. But this is the first I'm hearing about this with Ben. What injury does Ben have? Or are you saying during the game suffering an injury? I don't think that's what you mean. Does he have something wrong? Oh, wait a minute. Didn't he get banged up in last week's win? Remember, didn't he? Or I'm thinking a couple of games ago. I remember one game where he came out a play, or he went out right before the half, and then came back the second half to play. Something with his leg. I think so too, Keikov. And if that's the injury I'm thinking of from a couple of games ago, I can't remember who it was against. I don't think it was the last game they played.
It was the game before. He came out for like maybe one minute, and then all of a sudden he came right back in.
Remember they went to half, so they pulled him. They brought in. I don't think it was Mason Rudolph. Who was it that they brought in? Either way, it doesn't matter who they brought in. He came out. It looked like he hurt his leg because he couldn't run. It looked like he hurt his knee or something like that. They went to halftime, and then at the half, he came back in. He finished the game. So maybe that's the injury that Keikov is saying he's nursing.
I'm looking over here.
I will say this about Ben, though. It has to be some type of injury to get him out of the game.
The only way you're going to get Ben out of the game is if he has like a broken leg or a broken arm. There's no way. All right, here it is.
But coming out of the game is one thing, but not being 100% and ineffective is another. So you may not want to come out of the game, but look what happened to Daniel Jones trying to come in a couple of snaps with that hamstring. He couldn't plant, so he couldn't throw.
All right, it says over here, Roethlisberger, it says not injury-related knee. Did not participate in practice, questionable.
Yeah, that's the same knee that was giving him problems. So here's the thing. If it's on his planting knee, that can affect your drive. That can affect your throwing. So who knows? And also the ability to maybe dodge a sack or two. So I don't know, but thank you for bringing that up because I forgot about the possibility of Big Ben having an injury. But
All
the
right. So
Dupree injury does hurt them a little bit.
he
What?
is questionable, but he'll most likely he'll start anyway. I mean, there's
I gotta
no.
say this though. Honestly, I have to say this. And I know the Washington team has been playing a lot better than their record shows. As I just said about Alex Smith, they do have a decent team. I have to believe that even with Mason Rudolph, if that is this, I'm pretty sure that's the backup quarter for the Steelers. I really feel like with the defense, even without Dupree, I still give the Steelers an edge over the Skins. I do.
Honestly, as you know, because Ben wasn't that effective last week, and the defense played, held that game together. So
Yeah.
and that was with RG3 in the game.
RG3, yeah, that's right. He came in.
Except for that one play with that backup to him came in and he threw like a 70-yard touchdown. But who would have thought that the third stringer was going to pull that shit off?
Yeah, tell me about it.
But with Washington, yeah, their defense is probably one of the best defenses out there. So,
well, look, let's go back to the Giants really quick. I got some gripes with their win, and we talked about this while we were messaging during the game yesterday. I don't understand why on a couple of sequences they ran 3 straight time with Lewis when Gallman was having a big game. Gallman finished with over 100 yards. Gallman was a monster yesterday. And Gallman was one of the reasons why they won on the offensive side. Colt McCoy, he didn't look bad. The very beginning of the game he did. He was thrown at the ground. He looked
off. He was nervous.
I know, but then he settled in. Look, this is his first win, I think, since 2014, I think?
Yeah.
I have it written down somewhere. Hold on. First win since, October of 2014. So, look, he brushed off those cobwebs, and then he got into it. Engram didn't help him. That one interception that he threw was wait, hold on. I'm trying to remember the interception.
Well, Slayton dropped the pass too.
McCoy has an interception, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he had an interception.
Was that one of those tipped off? Because I know, or am I just mistaking that with Derek Carr's interception? How is McCoy's interception thrown?
I don't remember. But it was
either way. Look, Gallman had 135 yards. Morris had 39 yards. He had the touchdown because you remember you even the one that's the touchdown I missed. The first score that they had, I missed it. I fucking missed it because my landlord called me. I had to take a phone call and I was pissed. I came back in the room and the Giants were going for 2 points. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? But Gallman had that huge run, got knocked out of bounds, and then Morris went in, I think either from the 3 or 4. So, and he had a receiving touchdown too. Morris also had that receiving touchdown on the play action.
Yeah.
So, and Wilson again, and this is what we were talking about, 263. Interception.
How many times was he sacked? Was he sacked 2 or 3 times in that game?
I want to say 5. 5 sacks.
He got sacked 5 times?
Giants had 5 sacks, interception, a fumble, and 10 QB hits in the game. They hit him 10 times.
I'm telling you, this defense is starting to gel. And I don't know if Daniel's going to come back next week, but I hope he does because.
And I don't know if you know on my thumbnail, if you can't make out all the players, obviously one of them is Baker Mayfield. The other one is Taysom Hill. The running back on there is Gallman. But the other guy is Leonard Williams. So Leonard Williams, out of the 5 sacks in yesterday's game, he had 2.5.
He had 2.5. Right?
Yeah.
That I remember. He had 2.5. That's why I said they had 3.
So I wanted to represent one of the Giants defenders up there. So I put Leonard Williams because he had a big game. But look, the Giants as a whole had a huge game on defense. As we said, look,
even that kid Mikos Lalos,
I think it's Lalos or something like that, right?
Right, Mikos Lalos or whatever. He had the fumble recovery in that game.
Yeah, and I believe he had the strip sack recovery in last week's game too.
No, he had the interception last week.
The interception. Okay, that's what it was. He had the interception in last week's debut.
The rookies that they got playing right now on defense are just playing. So,
You know what? I didn't look up if there's any news or any updated report on Blake Martinez, because remember, he went out briefly in yesterday's game.
yeah, I don't know if he came back in. Did he?
I can't remember. I don't think he did. But Blake Martinez has been a big part of that Giants defensive core as well. That was actually a pretty big signing that they did when they got him. But their special teams we were talking about too. They got to do something about their special teams. Not only are they not kicking the ball deep enough where the teams are being able to return the ball to a really good field advantage, and they're starting out their drives at almost half midway in the field. But also, look, they had the block punt yesterday that could have went for a touchdown, but luckily went only for a safety. They need to, against the Bengals, they had that, what was it, 103 yard, 102 yard return?
Yard return, yeah.
So, I mean.
But that's the thing, and I said that to you. Joe Judge is supposed to be this special teams guru, and the last two games, the special teams almost fucked up everything.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. I mean, the special teams looked horrid yesterday, and they had the block punt or whatever, but again, it was the management, and I was screaming, and I was also screaming when fucking Logan missed that interception. If Logan would have made that interception late in the game would have been over. I wouldn't have had a few more downs to scream at the fucking television. But why weren't they running the ball? Why were they passing the ball? I get it on 3rd and 4. You need to get a first down. You have to extend the you have to extend the game, extend the offense being on the field. So I can get why you're passing. But why are you throwing the ball on first down?
Because Jason Garrett is a moron. You're not listening.
Unless there's absolute blown coverage that you can see at the line, and the quarterback is the one that's making the change, and seeing the mismanaged the mismatch. If there's a mismatch or something like that, I can get it. You want to make a last minute adjustment at the line, but why are you giving Colt McCoy a passing play when you have to kill the clock, when you have to run the ball and chew up yards? Why are you throwing the ball?
And Gorman's been running like that shit crazy the whole game. I mean,
yeah. And you go 3 consecutive, they went 3 and out because they gave the ball to Lewis 3 times in a row on one sequence. What the fuck what are you doing?
How many more times I gotta tell you during this stream?
He's got to be doing something right. They're winning.
Jason Garrett's an idiot. That's it. 10 years in Dallas and he didn't win a fucking thing, and you take this guy as your offensive coordinator.
Yeah, so Lewis, 3 straight rushes, 7 yards. 3
nice.
and out. 3 and out.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah, look, my Vic D. potato face. Nice.
Look, again, 4 straight wins. First time since 2016 that they have that.
I'll take it.
And 5 and 7. They're sitting at top of the division now with the bigger lead.
Think about this. 0-5. They're 1-7.
Yeah.
And now we're in first place.
I know. Nobody thought that. Nobody thought that.
You think Joe Judge should get like Coach of the Year for pulling this off if they get into the playoffs?
If they win the Super Bowl, yeah.
I wouldn't put it past them if they actually win their first round.
Oh, game. Yeah. See, I was right. So Engram miscatch turns into an interception for Diggs. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Engram should have had the ball, and instead it went to Diggs.
All right. So, you watched the game on CBS. So, on Fox. So, I'm stuck. I got to listen to the games on FAN.
Yeah.
And Bob Popper and Carl Banks, they're really good. They're a good team together on the radio. I don't know if you listen to any of the games on FAN.
I listen to, Banks on one of the fans' shows.
Because they're pretty good as play-by-play in color. They know what they're talking about. But Bob Popper even said that he was talking to one of Seattle's media guides, and they were saying, you look at this kid, and they're telling Bob Popper this, like, hey, this kid Ingram, he's big, he's strong, he's fast. you know, why do you guys pick on him so much? And Carl Banks said it. Ingram, take it and give it away. Yes, he'll catch a 16, 18-yard pass,
Right.
but the very next play, he'll drop the fucking ball or cause an interception.
Yeah, no, it's getting too much of a habit. Now with Slayton has a couple of drops, but most of the times him and Daniel Jones didn't look like they were in sync, and Jones was overthrowing him. So not everything was on Slayton's shoulders. But Ingram drops sometimes the most ridiculously stupid passes. Now, don't get me wrong, that one pass that he dropped that would have solidified the win, I think it was against the Eagles, right? Mm-hmm. Was that the one that he dropped, or was it against the Cowboys? It was one where if he would have caught the ball, it would have extended their drive and they would have killed the clock and they would have won. Remember, Jones threw it and it was just was that against the Eagles?
That was the Eagle game.
Okay. So you missed drops, you missed a catch like that, but then you catch, other ones. And look, don't get me wrong, he's a good tight end, but he's just got to learn to catch the ball better. That's it. Too many mental mistakes.
Do they, when they draft these guys, right?
Yeah.
Don't they look at video or something to see what these guys do on the field?
No, because what they do in college doesn't always translate what they do in the NFL. That's the case. And look, the Giants' track record with tight ends have been great. Have really been good. I mean, the one that didn't pan out for them was the one that ended up going to Chicago. Marcel. I can't think of his name now, but I know he had a better season in Chicago when he went to Chicago.
Honestly, I don't think we had a good tight end until besides Mark Bavaro. I don't think we.
What are you talking about, dude? I mean, look, I know Shockey had his problems on the field, but Jeremy Shockey was a good tight end. Kevin Boss.
Okay,
don't forget about. What was the one right before the Kevin or after the Kevin Boss era? There was another one. I can't think of his name, but he was a surprise too. What the fuck? He came in.
But here's the thing: if you watch games yesterday, you saw these tight ends just catching balls left and right. Kelsey, Tanyan,
you're talking about prime tight. What about Waller? Well, on the Raiders, you're
talking about Waller on the Raiders. Why can't we draft a guy that's
Abron?
Does that? Why can't we get a guy that's prime time? Why do we have to get a guy that catches a fucking 10-yard pass and then drops a 40-yard pass?
Okay, so Bear Pascal, which wasn't a big guy, but he still had a couple of big games for the Giants. Jake Ballard was the one I was talking about. Jake Ballard and Kevin Boss were one of the reasons why we won a Super Bowl in both respective years. And the guy I was trying to think of was Martellus Bennett. So Bennett, I believe, went from us to the Bears and had a really good season.
I don't know. I just want to see us get a tight end that can catch a fucking ball and hold on to it.
I agree, and I believe that Ingram could be that guy. They just got to give him some more time.
Kelsey catches 7 passes a game from Patrick, and maybe drops one, maybe 2. This guy gets 7 passes thrown at him. 6 out of 7 they're on the fucking floor.
It's probably the truth. All right, well.
Now that we did 40 minutes of Giant talk,
it's time to go from first to worst.
Wait. Excuse me. May I just start the segment?
Go ahead.
Oh, and 12.
Not only you 0-12,
it is.
But how do you lose a game like you did yesterday?
Hold on, December 7th, 2020, 11:40 a.m. Eastern Time, and Adam Gase is still the head coach of the New York Jets.
How I switched the game. I told you I switched the game from the Jets to the Giants because it was after 4:00. I was like, well, all right, the Jets won. The what do you call it? The Raiders just went 4 and out. They weren't able to convert on 4th and 3. There was like a minute and change left. I was like, all right, well, that's the game. I go to ESPN scores. I'm looking at the scores and it says The Raiders have 31 points. I'm like, wait, what? I thought maybe there was something wrong with the app because my ESPN app has been very inaccurate lately. Like it doesn't update when it's supposed to. And the Jets fired their defensive coordinator, Greg Williams, but Gase is still the head coach.
Well, it was Greg Williams' fault why they did that, and Rex Ryan said on Get Up this morning, dumbest play ever done.
I
You
agree.
don't do a zero-man coverage.
Look, I agree. The Jets should have won that game. I'm not going to lie. They played really well. On offense, they played really well. They did.
Let me ask you a question. Are they taking on purpose now?
I don't know. I mean, that looked like
a lot of people on Twitter said yesterday
I was going to say
is that they're taking on purpose.
I was going to bring that up because I feel like you have a minute and something left. You're going to win the game. And then I feel like at that moment they're like, "Oh shit, we got to lose. How do we lose?" Like what is it, Ruggs? How did Ruggs get open like that? That was insane.
Because Greg Williams called a zero-man coverage blitz. And you don't do that. Even Tony Dungy said it last night on NBC. You don't do that.
No.
You don't let the guy throw the ball down the sideline like that because he could run out of bounds or something and still get
you have to contain the sidelines, but at the same time you have to contain deep passes. You know, they needed a touchdown to win. It wasn't a field goal. Field goal doesn't win the game. They had no timeouts. Even
Tirico and Dungy were saying, are they losing on purpose now? And I'm starting to believe yes. And you get this a lot though. A lot of sports you see this where and not in baseball because really nobody really pays attention to the draft in baseball. I mean, I'm talking more NBA and NFL where you get the last place team, they will get the
No, I understand. Really
though, the NBA and the NFL should investigate stuff like this where they're looking at it as, okay, seriously, you're going to lose like that? No. And here's the thing, you guys are tanking for possible draft pick that ain't going to play for your team because he doesn't want to go there.
Well, like you said, though, and it makes sense, Darnold actually had a decent game in offense, was driving the ball, they were scoring, but then he had the 2 strip sacks, then he had the interception. It's, and it was like almost every time, because I watched the highlights because I want to see if I missed anything, right? Because I watched the game.
You ever watched the movie Easy Money with Rodney Dangerfield?
Of course.
All right. You know the scene where they go to the trotting?
Yeah, I already know what you're going to say. Yeah, I know what you're going to say. Yeah.
Right? And Pesci's watching the race.
Yeah, I'll kill him. I'll kill you.
I'll fucking kill you. And all of a sudden, the driver
he thinks
of
he's
the
water
horse,
skiing.
The driver of the horse puts his feet in the dirt and he's actually pulling back.
Easy Money is one of my favorite movies of all time, dude. Of course I know
that was
Easy
the
Money.
funniest scene in a movie ever. And then you see him try to jump over the rails and try to beat the shit out of him.
Nicky, kick his ass. Nicky, knock his head off. No, but that's exactly what
that game looked like last night.
Somebody should make, if they haven't already, because I don't think everybody knows Easy Money, but somebody should make a meme with that image where on top of the horse, put Jets, and then at the beginning, towards the end of the race when when they got a really good lead, you see them. You see what do you call it? The jockey put his his feet down and basically pull the horse out of contention.
I just put the Jets logo on it, or put Greg Williams' head on it, and then
because something is up. Every time the Jets had a drive, every time they were driving the ball, and they either were at the half, the 50-yard line, or maybe even in Raiders territory, they turned the ball over.
I'm telling you, the league shouldn't. There should be some type of investigation into this game because there's no way you do something like that. And like I said, you're tanking for a kid that already has been told, and he said, I am not going to play for the New York Jets. So what are you going to do? You're going to go for the kid from Ohio State?
I don't know.
I mean,
And they were even, you know what's funny? They said it on the air. Actually, as Darnold was making a decent run, actually, he ran the ball for over a first down and went out of bounds at one point during the game. But they said, one of the commentators said that this probably is not a good situation for Darnold to be in. The team. He's not in a good place being on the team. So I already think this is pretty much Darnold's last year. I don't see it. I don't see it happening.
I mean,
and they don't have an easier road. They got to play Seattle now next week. But take it out of our playbook. It's easy to beat Seattle. Dude, I think Darnold is a lot more talented than Colt McCoy. And their offense showed some promise yesterday. They were fighting. I was very surprised. They lost. And like I said, I switched the game off. I just thought it was over. I was like, all right, Giants are about to play. This game's over. All right, let's talk about some highlights. Let's do this really quick because we killed a lot of time. We were sidetracked because I'm glad we spoke to some new people or whatever, so that was good. But so the Saints won their 9th straight. They're now 10-2. Them and the Chiefs are the only teams right now to actually clinch a playoff spot. The Saints, because they got their win earlier in the game, earlier yesterday, they were the first to do so with that win. So they're now 10-2. They beat the Falcons, who are 4-8. No surprise. Hill had one of his best games. He threw for 232, had 2 touchdown passes. Kamara ran for 80 plus with the Russian touchdown, and then Smith and Cook each had a touchdown.
Hey, Joe.
But Hill had 3 fumbles. What?
Joey, one thing.
What? Are you going to show it? All right, let's show it.
I don't know what the sound is. I'm not getting sound. So... Can you hear it?
Yeah, there's the Jets. Jets are winning the game, guys.
There's a Jets lead. Look at that. Look, wait. Greg Williams. Greg Williams just called a 0-man blitz.
Greg Williams is pulling them back.
Watch the feet. Look at their faces. There's a Jet fan. Look. The race is over, and the guy there goes the feet.
He thinks he's water skiing. I'm taking it off.
Okay. Oh, God, that was too funny.
It's funny that you did that because I was actually going to ask you to do that.
I thought, no, because I said, wait, I got to find this. And there we go. So there you go, folks. That's how Jets take a game.
Yeah. All right. So
water skiing.
So, and as I was saying, Hill had 3 fumbles, but only 1 loss. So, Hill had a pretty decent game. And so that was the Saints win over the Falcons. They're 9th straight. But again, we figured that. We figured that was going to be a win. Lions and Matt Stafford came from behind, 10 points down. In the final 2, they had like 2 and change left in the game, and they scored 10 points. Well, they scored 14 points in that span, and they beat the 5-7, the reeling Bears. I mean, the Bears are just they're 6 in a row now.
They're done.
6 in a row. But Stafford, dude.
By the way, Drew Brees is coming back next week.
Okay.
So
Stafford 402 yards, 3 touchdowns, interception. And Adrian Peterson, who ended up scoring the winning touchdown, had 57 yards and 2 TDs. But Trubisky, dude, fumble. He had a huge fumble that caused the Lions to actually be able to score the second touchdown. 267 with the touchdown. Montgomery had two touchdowns, 72 yards, but 6 straight loss. I mean, it's just not looking good for the Bears at all. And K. Cove, I believe, is not with us anymore, but it would have been nice because we're talking about Baker throwing 4 touchdowns in the first half. The only quarterback to do that this season.
You're a jinx. You're a jinx.
The Browns hold off the Titans.
You almost threw a jinx in that.
Well, first of all, how did Baker fumble the ball? Did he lunge forward to try to get a score or for first down?
I think he did.
Was a quarterback sneak? Is that how he lost the ball? Because he loses the ball and Titans get the ball right back. They score a touchdown, but they still need an onside kick. Like the Browns had a big enough lead where they were still comfortable, but
let me ask you a question. What's this new fucking trend in football where you have like, and even last week with Kansas City, they did the same exact thing. They go into halftime with this huge fucking lead, and then all of a sudden they come out in the second half, and then
I don't know.
And then either the defense fell asleep, the offense fell asleep. I mean, what is this new trend that's going on? Like, hey, keep the foot on the fucking gas pedal. I was going to say another term, but now with this day and age, I don't want to use something with necks and feet, but you put your foot on the gas pedal and you keep fucking going. You don't come out in the second half and go, oh, you know what? Let's go a little easy on them. We feel like we're beating them up too bad.
I don't know if they were going easy on them, but they definitely went in too cocky and too comfortable. I mean, that's just what happens. I mean, you score.
I mean, even Baker went cold in that second half.
They didn't score anything in the second half, right?
How many passing yards did Baker have in the whole game? Do you know?
334.
He had 290 going into the half.
Yeah, I'm saying their offense was nothing.
So you know what though? And that was up against Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I got a feeling the Giants could beat them too, because I think our defense is a little bit more.
Yeah,
a little bit better than Tennessee's.
Yeah, but our offense is nowhere near. I think Tannehill is a better quarterback than either Jones or McCoy. And yes, come on, and Derrick Henry.
But what I'm saying is our offense. I mean, our defense isn't going to let them score 35 fucking points in one half.
Right.
Or 28. What was it? 35, right?
I don't know. They ended up with 41.
I mean, I put the game on. It was like halfway through the first quarter, and because I forgot the game was on.
But what did they do on defense, though? The one thing they did on defense that I said that they needed to do was hold Henry, and they did.
And they did.
There he is.
Hey, Sippy.
We're slowly going down the schedule. We're about to go to, obviously we're going to end with the big game, and I'm sure you're happy with that win. Although it wasn't a pretty win.
Oh, I breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah. All right. Tua and the Dolphins beat the lowly Bengals 19-7. I mean,
Dolphins here's what I'm going to say. The Dolphins get into the playoffs. They're out in the first round. Tua is not impressing me whatsoever. I don't know. Still questioning why this guy's in there when
they still won. You know, he had 296 yards and a touchdown. It's not that, dude. 296 is not that bad. You know, he's a rookie. Yeah, whatever. All right. Vikings edge the Jags. They go to over the Jaguars. Let me tell you something. For a 1-11 team, they put up a fight. They almost beat the Browns last week. It was a 2-point conversion.
You know, they started their sixth kicker in 12 games.
Yeah,
it's like every other week they got a new kicker.
Well, and it's their third quarterback this season so far. They started with Minshew, then they went to Luton, and now it's Glennon.
Yeah. I don't know who was calling the game to CBS on that. I listened to the highlights this morning.
Mm-hmm.
It either was a girl or a 13-year-old
girls boy playing baseball.
No, I swear it was either a girl.
I know. I saw that. Hold on. I'm sorry. I seen that afterwards. So I usually on Sundays, what I do is I commit. What's the word? That's not the word I want to use. It's not commit. What's when you give something all your attention? Anyway, my whole day is pretty much committed to football. So I'm sitting on the couch like a piece of shit, and I pretty much don't move unless I have to shit. And I watched, 1 o'clock game, 4 o'clock game. I write my notes from the earlier games onto my piece of paper, and then anything happens in the 8 o'clock game, I'll add to it. And that's what I ended up doing. I ended up watching the most.
I did the same exact thing. I watched the Cleveland game, listened to the Giants game. My wife took a nap because she can't stand football. And then I watched the Kansas City game, and she wanted to know when this game is ending. I go, like, in about an hour. Like, she literally hates football.
I wasn't able to log on to YouTube. Well, not log on. I have YouTube on my televisions. It wasn't until I went to bed, until after 12 o'clock. I'm laying in my bed and I'm flipping through my YouTube subscriptions, and I see, I saw that you had the live reaction, and I did want to talk about that, but we can talk about it now. How crazy was that? Do you know what he's talking about?
Yep.
That was insane. He didn't even think he caught it.
Andy Reid said, "How do you not know you caught it?"
Yeah. Well, because a lot was happening. He jumped up for the ball, tipped it. He's falling to the ground. He has a defender falling on top of him. How do you know what's happening at that moment? How did he know the ball?
The ball was on his helmet, and then went into his side.
Yeah, but how do you know?
Touch the ground.
He doesn't know that. How do you know that? That was a freak thing, dude. That was a freak thing.
But you know what, though? Andy Reid wants to blame Hill for that. Meanwhile, you got a booth upstairs of guys watching the replays. Why didn't nobody tell me, hey, Andy, throw the fucking flag out and don't punt yet?
Never seen a player not know he caught a ball. Yeah, but on top of that, like he just said, it's true. Your guys, your experts, your guys that can actually look at replays.
I actually thought the ball hit the ground too, because in real time it looked like the ball hit the ground, and then Hill picked up the ball. Did this?
I said this. I thought I said this. One day, your fellow will let me join the show. Yeah, of course. I said this, dude.
I said it too.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm the one that told you. I said we gotta get. I said maybe we should put Sippy Live with us.
Yeah, I want other guys. I want other YouTubers. I want other guys that are into sports or whatever, and talk about their teams, our team, whatever. I mean, not our team. You don't have to talk. You don't have to sit here and talk about the Giants. But when we get to a point where we're talking about whatever, I mean, Giants and Chiefs don't play each other, but still, and there's, like you said, there's a big game coming up between them and the Saints this month. If you want to come on and we talk about that,
that's gonna be the big hurdle.
If you want to, we could talk about that. How about that, Sippy? If you're free the Monday after, because it's a Sunday game, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's the 20th.
I think so too. I'm pretty sure it's the game is on the 20th. So if you're free the 21st, you want to come on, you want to talk about, when we get to that segment, or if you want to come on the whole time, it's fine if you have time, and you want to talk about the outcome of the Chiefs and Saints game, I'm for it.
I'll tell you one thing: if they play New Orleans the way
you can't play like that.
The way you played Denver last night, you are not winning that game. I'm sorry.
Cannot play the Saints like that. Saints defense and their offense just too good.
We'll eat you for lunch.
It's unbelievable, and they're doing this without Breeze right now. They actually play. They showed a graphic on the screen during the game. They actually play better without Breeze.
That's funny.
In the last two seasons, I think they said they were 15-5 with Breeze, and I think 8-0 without him. And they have a higher points per game.
Well, and like I said, Dominique. Oh, by the way, his name is Dominique Fox on Get Up. That's his name. When he said to take.
What's up, Starspeed? As always,
why do you call him
Starspeed? Because that's his other YouTube name.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what the hell is this?
That is a way.
That's the ordinary Jedi.
I mean, I could shorten it. I could shorten it to Jedi too. But look, he said he's all in. I agree with y'all, and Saints D-line. Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, look, they beat the Falcons yesterday. They beat the Falcons, but other than that, they've won 9 straight. So, but as I said, the Vikings edged the lowly Jags. They're 6-6, and they're actually in a better position now for the playoffs. Let me see if I'm going to just make sure. Minnesota actually just got the 7th spot as of now.
Yep, at 6-6, they got the final spot as of right now.
They have the final spot as of now with that win. So that was a big win. They were down 16-6 in the third quarter.
So if I was Minnesota right now, I would be rooting for the Giants because they're the ones that knocked Arizona out of that spot. So yeah, Minnesota becomes Giants fans this weekend.
The Colts outlast the Texans. Now, Deshaun Watson had a very costly fumble at the end of
There
the
were a
game.
lot. There were a lot of safeties this week. Yeah, three
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
And three different games.
But Watson pretty much lost the game for them. I mean,
yeah.
You don't want to put it out. You don't want to put it all on Watson's shoulders. But that was a big fumble. That was a very
and the safety didn't help either at the end either.
Yeah.
With that.
So the Colts win, and that was a big win. They needed that win because the Titans lost. So
what about the biggest blowout this week?
We're gonna get to that just next, right after this.
Bad.
But the Rams beat the Cardinals. That was another huge win. And Goff did not, if I'm not mistaken, I think he fumbled, but he didn't lose any. I don't think he actually lost.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
So Goff had a rushing touchdown, threw for 351, had a passing touchdown, and the Rams beat the Cardinals.
And are now in sole possession of first.
Yeah, they're 8-4. They have sole possession of first, which they definitely needed that win. They did. And as I said, Goff kept the ball for the most part. Yep. And D-Hop, he only had 52 receiving yards, but he had a touchdown as well.
Yeah, touchdown as well, yeah.
Arnold is the one that had 2. Where Arnold is. I don't think it's Arnold from Wonder Years. What do you think?
No, I think, well, it could be Arnold from Happy Days.
And let's get to the Packers now. The Packers beat the Eagles. We needed it. We knew what happened. 30-16, convincing. So Rodgers becomes the fastest person to get 400 passing touchdowns, and he's also he beat out. I think there was I can't remember how many names were on that list, but every Brady, Peyton Manning, and I forgot who else was on there. They were all tied for 4. He also becomes now the sole guy with 5 consecutive seasons with 35 or more, or I don't know if it's consecutive, but 5 seasons with 35 or more touchdowns in a season. So no other quarterback has done that. So Rodgers broke a couple of records yesterday in like I said, a convincing win. Eagles are 3-8-1 now. We needed that. Needed that loss.
Wentz getting benched for Jalen Hurts in the fourth quarter.
Yep. Wentz got benched. They brought in Jalen Hurts.
I think Wentz is gonna. Honestly, I think Jalen Hurts is gonna be.
I think so too. There's no. They said that there's no.
Doug Peterson's getting fired, and they're gonna. I don't know how you're gonna try to get rid of a 9-figure contract.
Mahomie will beat it with ease.
No.
Wentz went home. That's true. That is true.
Yeah, but I don't know how you're gonna get rid of a 9-figure contract.
Wait, the real A-Rod. Who's A-Rod?
Rodgers.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers. Duh.
Aaron.
Yeah, I know. I forgot we were just talking about Rodgers. That's why.
And
because you went from you were talking about the Eagles just now, but it's fine. Yeah, I definitely think they're going with Hurts. I think it's now's the transition. Now's the time.
How do you get rid of that big ass contract you gave him?
I don't know, but he's the worst. He's got the worst.
I mean, he's going to be the most expensive bench warmer in football if Philly can't.
I know that they have to try to do something because right now, as it stands, he leads the league in interceptions. He's got the lowest completion percentage. He's not. It's not a good. He's not a good fit.
He's not a good quarterback. I don't know why they paid him that much money. I mean, you paid him all that money just because and then he got injured.
Yeah.
And then you paid him all that money. You didn't really get to see what he was going to look like in the playoffs.
I know. Playoffs?
Playoffs? Who's talking playoffs? I mean, it was just a fucking win.
All right, now we're at the blowout. I did not see this coming. Pats blow out the Chargers.
I actually picked the Chargers to win this game.
I picked
the Chargers.
Who did I pick?
I think you went with New England. I believe you did. I don't want to say positive.
No, we both did.
Oh, no, we did?
Yeah.
Because I picked
the Colts. I know I picked the Colts. That's what I know. I think that's those are one of the only ones that I think we disagreed on. I went with the Colts. And you went with the Titans. Not the Titans. Who did the Colts beat? Just fucking talking about it. Who the fuck Colt beat? Texans. You went with the Texans. I went with the Colts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm shocked by this. It's the first game that.
Granted, most of the touchdowns came off the special teams.
Yeah, that most of the touchdowns came out exactly. It was a blocked field goal and a what was it, kick return or a punt return, 70 yards.
Punt return.
He had a punt return and a receiving touchdown. Olszewski, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
But because Newton only had 69 passing yards. He had a touchdown, and he had 48 rushing yards with 2 touchdowns. But Herbert, first game, no touchdown pass at all. 209 yards passing, 2 interceptions. He looked horrible.
It was his first bad start.
Yeah, I'm not going to blame Herbert. Because look at all the good starts he had.
I know all the losses they got, but if you look at the kid, the way he's been playing all year, this is really his.
No, he was on pace for a rookie of the year. He was on pace for the rookie of the year. I think Justin Jefferson's probably going to. Well, no, you can get it. They're both in 2 different leagues. I'm sorry. I think Justin Jefferson's going to get it for the NFC. The Vikings rookie wide receiver. I still think Herbert, if he has bounce back games in the remaining 4 games that they have.
Well, I think they got to play the Rams next, and that's both of their home stadiums. So but it doesn't really matter. There's no fans allowed in California. So
no, I think their next game their next game they're hosting Atlanta.
I think it's after that.
Yeah. All right, and let's get to it. The Chiefs they had a rally to beat the Broncos. Chiefs rally to beat the Broncos 22-16. Mahomes a modest 318 yards with a touchdown. Team total, what do you call it? Bell was the leading rusher with 40, but team total 134 rushing yards because you had
Hilaire was sick, so he couldn't play.
And Kelsey had the monster game. Kelsey had 136 of those 318 passing yards with the touchdown.
I wish we could have a Travis Kelce on the Giants, but we get idiots that drop balls.
And then, as we had said earlier, Hill actually did score a touchdown, but that was that wasn't challenged. And Mateu had 2 interceptions for the Chiefs. But Locke, 151 yards. He went 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Whoa. What did you just call Honey Badger?
What?
What did you call Honey Badger?
I said, what is it? It's Mateu, isn't it?
Matthew?
Yeah,
the way it's spelled is. I know the way it's spelled, but he actually says Matthew.
All right, I didn't know. I thought it was Mateu. That's how I would say it.
Don't you disrespect Honey Badger?
And then Melvin Gordon had 131 rushing yards, and Patrick had 2 touchdowns with 44 receptions. He had the 2 touchdowns. He had the one touchdown that I actually seen too, where it was in the corner of the end zone that originally wasn't ruled a touchdown, but it was a good catch. So divisional BS. Yeah. Chiefs rally to beat the Broncos. I don't know, but what's your take on that game though, Sippy? Why what was it? What was I'm sorry. I messed up.
You see?
I'm sorry I messed up,
Matthew. Do not disrespect the Honey Badger.
Well, what's your take on that game? Because is that what? So earlier we had another listener or viewer, I should say, that was that had mentioned, Seattle maybe taking the Giants a little lightly and maybe not practicing as hard. Do you think that this was something like that? Did the Chiefs take the Broncos lightly, or the Broncos, again, as I said, the Broncos actually have put up some good fights against some teams. So what is it?
I mean, honestly though,
because Mahomes looked lost. Let's be honest. Mahomes looked lost for most of that game.
I mean, does it look like more that it's Mahomes takes like under 500 teams a little, doesn't take him as serious as because last week against Tampa Bay, he was on literally fucking fire the way he the whole month of November, he averaged almost 400 yards passing for the month.
I can see that. He said, I think we played down. I think we played comfy. Andy tried too much razzle. I can see that. I can definitely see that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean,
maybe what you're saying, Mike, and I think, and we've said this before, I think when I think Mahomes is the kind of quarterback, and he's shown this a couple of times this season, that he needs a challenge. And it wasn't until they were down and he had to come back, that's when he stepped up. And it really did feel like, it really starting to feel like that if when he plays subpar teams that don't give him much of a challenge, there's a little bit of a lackluster.
Yep.
So I think that could be too.
I mean, like when he went up against Brady,
he eventually woke up because he led his team to a win. He was a part of the reason why they came back. He's making some sick throws, making those crazy, the
one he threw where he was going, I think he was going left, and then he threw it right.
Yeah.
And then he sidearms, he underhands it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how he throws it. He still gets it off, and it's usually whatever. He says he doesn't know what Mahomes' deal was. Maybe his gal being pregnant, was giving him getting him at the crib. It's possible.
Hey.
Well, look, a win is a win. They still won. They're still 11-1. They clinched the playoff spot. Them and the Saints are the only ones that did yesterday. So they have at least that. And depending on
how would 11-0 Pittsburgh didn't clinch their spot yet? Would they clinch with a win today
if they win today? They get a clinch.
They clinch, right? Okay,
I think so.
All right, because then you'll be three up on.
They're the first game. Are they the first game today?
Yeah, I think they're a 5 o'clock start.
So we will know by today how it's looking as far as bye weeks, because if the Steelers lose today, then they're tied.
Yeah, they're the 5 o'clock game. It will be on, I believe, Fox. Yeah, okay. It's on Fox.
Good. All right, good.
And then the ESPN game will be the Bills and Niners from
Bills at
Arizona.
Niners. Okay. Bills at Niners from Arizona.
And then tomorrow at 6:05 you got Fox with the Cowboys and the Ravens.
Honestly, Sippy, I think at this point, I think KC should be scared of them more than Pittsburgh.
So basically, you're saying KC's their own worst enemy.
No, I can see the Saints giving them more issues than the Steelers. Again, as I said, the Steelers
have the Super Bowl you're predicting right there in New Orleans and KC.
I mean, that's a good Super Bowl prediction right
there.
That
would be a good Super Bowl prediction. I mean, you also got, but don't forget, you still got Pittsburgh, who's undefeated. They can go get in there.
Who did I pick for the Super Bowl earlier in the year? Did I say Chiefs and Green Bay? Or Chiefs Seattle?
I think you said Chiefs in Green Bay. I think you went back to Super Bowl one. I even said it. Super Bowl one. I mean, I don't know who I said. I forgot. We gotta go back to the first episode to look at that.
No, we didn't do it in the first episode.
Second, third, whatever.
Either way, I think because of the way the Steelers have been winning, right? And look, again, their defense is good. You can't argue against that. But their offense doesn't always show like too much promise. Like that's why every time you kept bringing up Big Ben, oh, why isn't he in MVP contention? Why isn't he talked about? It's because I didn't see much from him.
Because Ben doesn't throw 500 yards a game and 5 touchdowns like the other guys do. I mean, I understand that. But, it's... I mean, with Ben, now that K. Cole brought up the point earlier with the knee thing.
Yeah.
Maybe he is having problems with the knee, and he won't tell Tomlin that he doesn't want to be taken out because this is his season to lose now. I mean, you already won 11 games in a row. You're 5 away from perfection.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, so Mike, here it is. Oh, wow. I'm feeling stupid now for my pick. You actually picked KC in Green Bay. James picked KC in Seattle. I picked KC in Tampa Bay. Guess I was a little too anxious to crown those assholes.
Tampa Bay. Look, everybody gave Tampa Bay the fucking Lombardi when Gronk and and Brady when Brady went to go pick him up at the airport, and Brady goes,
no, hold on. Mike had mentioned that Hilaire was out. Yeah,
yeah, he was under the weather. I don't know if it was a stomach issue or he had a cold.
but they still put, as
It
I
wasn't.
said,
It wasn't COVID related. He
right.
had.
But
I think he just had like a regular cold.
they still had a combined 134 on the ground. You know, even though Bell was there leading with 40, but they still put 134 yards on the ground without Hilaire. So
who did they mention was their starting running back last year before? Because the guy that they had last year opted out. They said for COVID this year.
I don't know. Because I'll be honest.
And basically, it's going to be, if they keep Bell for next year, it's going to be a three-headed. Sippy, who was the starting running back last year for KC that opted out for COVID this season? He didn't want to play. Because Collinsworth was mentioned in that last night. He said,
good call.
If they all come back together and Le'Veon Bell stays there with Hilaire, you're going to have a three-headed monster that's going to be very hard to stop.
I don't know. All right. While he's figuring that out, while he answers us, let's go into our picks for next week. Let's go over some games.
Hold on. I got to get next week's schedule up now.
And we do have a Thursday. We do have a Thursday game this week, so don't forget that. We have a Thursday game.
You mean actually allowing Thursday games again?
Yeah. So obviously today.
Honestly, all honesty though.
Damian Williams.
I hate the Thursday. No, they started. There was another running back. Damian Williams played yesterday. He was in for a couple of runs to back up.
Sippy, he's talking about you started last year that opted out this year, that didn't play because of COVID. But I guess in a normal situation, he'd be back next year.
Right. He would have been playing this year if it wasn't for COVID. He's one of those players that opted out.
Wait, is that another one or is that the same guy, Darrell Williams? Are there two Williams?
Damian Williams and Darrell Williams. So who's who? Who's the one that opted out?
Damian's the one that opted out. So Darrell Williams is the one that played yesterday.
Okay. So Damian Williams.
That's confusing.
So what Collinsworth said last night, if Damian Williams was playing, or if you look at next year and they keep Le'Veon Bell, you're going to have Damian Williams,
Bell, and Edwards-Helaire.
Le'Veon Bell and Edwards-Helaire.
That's a
running back by committee, three-headed monster.
Yeah.
Like their own version of Earth, Wind, and Fire post Giants.
Sippy, who do you think is winning today, Washington or Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh.
I still think Pittsburgh. I know with Ben nursing an injury, as K. Cove said earlier, and of course with Dupree out. Oh, he's going Washington.
Right.
Now look, I'm not without Dupree, their defense is significantly, it's a little bit not tarnished. What's the word? It's a little weakened, but I don't know. I think it's going to be. He says underdog special. Yeah, I could see it.
I can see it. I mean, look. Look, they got a good defense, and Alex Smith is pulling wonders over there.
Yeah,
but as the Giants fans, we want them to lose today.
Yeah, we need two things. I do respect the Steelers. Steelers have always been, and I said this before in other shows, but for those of you that have not seen my older shows, maybe not know this, but Pittsburgh is probably my second favorite team and has been.
And mine.
Has always been. I don't know if it's the Rooney Mara connection. And that's not the actress Rooney Mara, but the actual
black and
yellow. But I'm hoping for Pittsburgh for two reasons. One, I like the Steelers, and we just need the Steelers to win too.
I mean, like if we were going by top three, my top three favorite teams, it would be the Giants, the Steelers, and the Chiefs. I actually became more of a Chiefs fan.
Okay.
In the last few years because of Patrick. So. In that order, yes. Number one is Giants. Number two is Pittsburgh. And number three is KC.
Mine's always fluctuated between the Lions and Bears. And I used to
Bears.
And the reason being is I used to pick when I was younger, and nobody really can fault me because you're a kid. When I was younger, I used to pick teams based on their names. or their team colors. That's
And
how I
you're a
did it.
Leo. And you're a Leo.
And I'm a Leo, so I used to like the Lions, and the Bears I used to like the. So either way, anyway. So what about the second game, the Bills and the 49ers? I think the Bills.
We both took Buffalo on that one.
Yeah, I still think the Bills are a better team, but San Fran has surprised in some games. So I don't know if he's still doing the underdog special here because they're clear underdogs, but
And they are playing in a neutral stadium.
they're playing in Arizona. So
they're playing in State Farm Stadium today.
All right, and then of course Tuesday you got the Dallas at Baltimore game. I would love. In a normal circumstance, I probably would be going for the Cowboys.
But in this case, we're taking Baltimore.
We need the Ravens to win just because we need these NFC East teams. We need more cushion because let's just be honest. I'm not really confident in the Giants' upcoming schedule enough. So he's going Bills and he's going to go Dallas. Okay, I think Dallas is probably. I still think even though I want Baltimore to win, I think Baltimore will win as well. I think it's more of that, but again, we'll see. All right. First game, which is Thursday for week 14, is the Pats at Rams.
Rams.
This is a big game for both teams. I have a star next to it because obviously the Pats still want to stay within playoff contention. I believe they're peaking in. Yeah, they're in the hunt with the Raiders. With the Raiders in Baltimore right now, they are 8-9. They are the 10th spot, so they need a win. And the Rams, they just want to hold on to that division lead.
Yeah. And that's why I'm going to go with the Rams. I think they're going to play a little bit tougher.
Sippy's saying Pats. I'm sorry. Yeah, so Sippy's saying Pats. James is saying Rams. I'm going to have to go with Rams as well. I just feel if Goff can hold on to the ball like he did yesterday, they can win. But Pats just fucking 45-0 over the Chargers. I mean, where did that come from? Special teams. I know.
Well, two of the touchdowns came from special teams, but I think Cam is trying to send a message to Belichick saying, look.
But he's not doing anything.
But he ran it for 2. So
yeah, I know. He ran it for 2 yards, but he had 48 total. So that means
But I think he's trying to tell Belichick.
And why did Steven come in? Why was it because they had too much of a lead? They just wanted to sit?
Yeah. Why risk injuring Cam?
All right, I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. That's all.
No. But what I'm saying is, I think what Cam is trying to say to Belichick is,
yeah,
you know what? I like playing for you. I want to stay here. Can you get me some more pieces offensively that we can make this work?
And then Belichick said no.
Tony Michelle is back.
Then Belichick said no. You're out. You're out, Tom. All right. Texans at Bears.
Oh wait, I forgot you're using the ESPN.
Look, Texans almost won that. Texans could have won that game if it wasn't for
You know
Deshaun.
what? I don't know. I mean, these two teams are both.
But the Bears, we said it, they're 6 straight now. They're going in the opposite direction. I gotta go with the Texans. I have to.
I agree.
I want the Bears. Dude, I want the Bears to win. I really do. I honestly want the Bears to win. I really thought the Bears, when they were 5-1, I really thought that they were going to be a better team than they have been. And to lose 6 straight, whether it's Foles, whether it's Trubisky, it doesn't matter. It don't matter now. Something's going on.
I know.
And I blame Mooney.
It's not Mooney's fault.
No, Mooney's cousin Mooney. So I'm going to go Texans, and I think it's a clean sweep because Sippy and James also went Texans.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Texans too. I mean, it's like you said. I mean, it's been a downward spiral ever since they were 5-1, and now they lost 5, 6 straight.
6 straight. They lost 6 straight. Dallas had Cincinnati. Now, this is...
Oh, God.
This is a horrible game. This is a horrible fucking game. And look...
This is the 55th annual toilet bowl as the two shittiest teams play.
And I'll be honest, I think Dallas is probably going to win this game. But I'm pulling for Cincy.
Who are you picking?
I'm going to pick Cincy.
I'm gonna go. You know what? I don't want to say, but I'm gonna go with Dallas. Knowing my luck, that backup quarterback's gonna win the fucking game for Cincy, but I mean, even with Andy Dalton starting, can you see Andy Dalton beating his old team?
Who's their quarterback? Is it Brad? Is it Brad? Is it Allen?
Allen, yeah.
Okay. Wow, you're
There's
making
too
me
many,
sick.
there's too many hours playing quarterback this year in football. Okay, you
Uh,
got Allen on Buffalo, you got Allen on fucking Washington, and now you got Allen on this team.
All right, here's actually, this should be a good game. And this actually could be a test even before the New Orleans game, Sippy.
No,
You got KC at Miami.
Sippy,
I'm
the destruction of Tua will happen on this game tonight.
I'm picking KC.
I'm picking KC and saying they're going to win by 24.
Yeah, Tua just has not shown any. I mean, he shows.
Tua is not beating this fucking team. No.
I'm sure Sippy's going to pick Chiefs for that. He didn't pick. What's your pick for the Dallas and Cincy game, Sip? All right.
Yep.
Next game, Arizona at Giants.
Sippy said we dismantle Miami.
Yeah, and I figured that. Disembodied Dolphins.
Nice.
Yeah, they should have no problem. They should have no problem with them.
Next on the list.
Arizona at Giants.
Hey, guess what? I get to actually watch a fucking Giant game on TV this year.
Woohoo! I'm going Giants.
Giants. Only reason why I get to watch this is because they're playing in Arizona. That's why it's going to be on.
Right, no, I got you. I got
TV.
you. It's going to be a local game.
Yeah.
Sippy picked Cincy, which is good. He said, G-Men always. Look at this guy. Is he now to butter up a host or what?
Boy, he really wants to come on this show. I never seen that much ass kissing Sippy. Break out the fucking lipstick. You're looking good, Dave.
I hope he means that. Look, and if he didn't, I want you to keep it 100 all the time. You know, you could be honest with us. I still think you are probably going for the Giants, but even if you weren't, I don't care. You could pick if James would have picked Arizona, because look, Arizona's got a good team. You know, if you got, you know, if
is James still here?
Yeah, James picked the Giants.
Oh, there he is, Giants, and he picked Kansas City.
He picked the Giants. He picked KC.
Am I the only one who thinks Dallas is going to beat Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Good.
No. Correction. I think Dallas is going to win that game. I do, but I'm picking Cincy just because I don't want to. I don't want to. You know, I don't want to. I just can't put that on paper.
I know. You're going. I know what you're thinking is. It's like, okay, if they win, then. But
Minnesota at Tampa Bay. This is a big game.
This is a big game for Minnesota.
Yeah, and also for Tampa Bay, because if Minnesota can knock them out, they knock them out.
Wouldn't that be great though to knock out Tom, that smug son of a bitch?
What do you think? Do you think Dalvin Cook and Cousins take on Brady and win?
You know what? I have you, Joe. You know me. Who do I hate more than anybody in football?
You're Tom Brady?
Minnesota.
You going Minnesota?
Give me Minnesota. That smug bastard's gonna lose.
All right.
Him and his little buddy second.
James is going Minnesota. James is going Minnesota.
Oh shit! The kiss of death. All right. I changed my pick.
I think I have a feeling Sippy's probably going to pick Minnesota too. I'm probably the only one that's picking Tampa here.
Yeah, because you're a Brady Brady fan over there.
It's hard to pick against Tom Brady, dude. I mean, it's just I don't know. It's hard.
I hate Tom Brady.
And I know Minnesota's that team that's going in the other direction. Tampa is losing games that they shouldn't. You know, I mean,
honestly though, they lost to fucking.
I was about to say against the Chiefs, that wasn't whatever. But
I mean, they're losing games they shouldn't be losing. But yeah, you're playing Kansas City. No, you're gonna fucking lose to Pat Mahomes.
I'm not talking about the KC game, but even look at against the Saints. The Saints are a good team as well, but the Saints like almost pretty much shut them out. So I don't know. And Tom, not for nothing, great quarterback, but he just looks lost. He really does. He looks lost.
Yep. And because he doesn't have his ass, he doesn't have his coach with him, and Bruce Arians doesn't take no shit from nobody.
All right, we got Denver at Carolina. Do we even have to talk about this game? I'll go Denver.
I want to go Denver because the way they looked yesterday up against Kansas City.
Yeah,
but
I just feel like Carolina is another one. I mean, it's just hasn't shown much lately. I'm sticking with Denver.
Denver.
James is going Denver too.
Jacksonville.
Yeah, Titans at Jacksonville.
I mean,
obviously, Titans.
I know Jacksonville will probably play him tough, but Tennessee all the way.
Yeah, I just feel like Tennessee just makes the most sense. It really does. It's a must win for them. They need to stay on par with the Colts. Which, speak of the devil, Colts at Raiders. Raiders did just beat the Jets, so I think they're riding high. I think because of what the Raiders showed against, who did they look horrible against? That was just recently too. It was the week before the Jets. They just looked horrible, right? What was it? Who was it that they lost miserably to?
Kansas City?
No, it wasn't KC. Because they play KC well. It was the game right after KC that they looked horrible.
So we're looking at you. So wait, that had to be week 12. No. That was week 11, I think. Hold on. Give me a minute, Joe. I got you.
No. Falcons. The Falcons destroyed the Raiders.
Yeah.
Just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it was.
You're right. I think it was week 11.
No. Falcons played. I think it was week 10 or week 12. One of the two.
Either way. So that is where I'm going to probably go with the Colts. I'm going to go Colts.
Yeah, 43-6 was week 12. But the Raiders lost that game.
Yeah. So what are you picking? You going Colts or Raiders?
No, well, I'll go Indy on that one.
All right, so it's a sweep because James went Colts. Jets at Seattle.
0-13.
Yeah, I'm going Seattle. I'm pretty sure.
They don't even have to even dump this one. They'll just lose outright.
I'm pretty sure James is probably going to pick Seattle too.
Russell is pissed, so he'll probably light the board up with them this next week.
All right. Green Bay at Detroit.
You know what? I hate these divisional matchups because Detroit plays tough.
Well, Detroit needs to win if they want to keep any play of hope alive. But I just feel like the Packers are probably going to handle them.
Yeah, easily. Green Bay. It's Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, and we all live in it.
Well, technically, they're playing in Stafford's neighborhood, but yeah, I get it.
You know what I mean.
Saints at Philly.
The return of Drew Brees will be a win. New Orleans.
Yeah. We needed to. And James also said Green Bay. James also said Seattle. So right now we're pretty much all on the same page. Atlanta at the Chargers.
Atlanta.
I'm going with Chargers.
Really?
Yeah, I think Chargers. This is Herbert can't have another bad game. I just don't see. I don't see Atlanta as any good. I don't. So I'm gonna go Chargers here.
Mm-hmm.
Chargers are a lot better than 3-9. They are a lot better than 3-9. They should be at least 6-10. At least. Not 6-10. You know what I meant. So 6-6.
Somebody,
They should be at least 6-6.
oh,
James is
and
going Chargers too.
and they adjust my seating.
James is going Chargers too. All right, so good.
Somebody actually mentioned. I forgot who said it on. Was it Get Up? That they said that if Joe Judge was the coach of the Chargers, they would be a Super Bowl contender right now.
All right, sure.
Yeah, okay. You're dreaming.
Washington football team at 49ers.
You mean the Redskins versus the 49ers?
I'm going 49ers.
You're too PC. The Redskins, 49ers playing at San Francisco at Arizona.
We'll know. We should probably know. Honestly, I mean, we're picking the game now, obviously, but we should probably know more after tonight's games. See what Washington does against Pittsburgh, and of course, what the 49ers do against the Bills. But I'm going to go. I'm going San Francisco. James got Washington. What you got? Come on, we got two more.
I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go San Fran.
Okay. All right. All right. Now we're at the Sunday night game. Pittsburgh at Buffalo.
Pittsburgh. Did you ever figure out? I mean, speaking of Buffalo, did you figure out why your brother told you that DK Metcalf scored a touchdown
because he knows that he knows he's on a delay. I'm on a delay, so he sees the plays way before I do.
But it was like 5 minutes left of the game.
You know what he said afterwards, though? Then he said, "Oh no, McCoy threw an intercept." Like he was just messing around with me. At that point, I knew he was just fucking around with me. All right, so James picked Pittsburgh as well. You went Pittsburgh?
I went Pittsburgh, and then Monday night I'm gonna go Cleveland over Baltimore.
All right, I'm also gonna go Cleveland over Baltimore. I'm picking Buffalo. I think Buffalo's gonna win.
You think Buffalo's gonna win that game?
I think Buffalo is gonna surprise and win. Yeah, I do. I think it's gonna be a good game. It should be a good game. All right, and I'm also going Cleveland.
So Buffalo is going to be the one to take away the perfect season.
Well, you never know. It might be Washington tonight. Look, if Washington has a shot, why wouldn't Buffalo have a shot?
Washington is not going to beat them tonight. Oh, by the way, just to make this even more interesting about what we did yesterday to Seattle.
Yeah.
They were 10.5-point favorite yesterday on the money line, Seattle.
Yeah, I know. Double-digit favorite. As I said earlier, they were 13 at a 13.7 chance of winning that game. That's how much was against the Giants from winning that game.
I mean, not only did they not cover the spread, they lost outright on that.
Yeah.
I love money lines like that, especially when you bet the home team.
Oh yeah. Well, look, as it stands in the playoff picture, and then we'll end the show. Pittsburgh obviously has a number one spot at 11-0. KC right behind them at 11-1. Buffalo 8-3, and the Titans 8-4. Those are all your division leaders. Cleveland, Miami, and Indy, they have the 3 wildcard spots as of now, with Indy at the back spot with 8-4. And then the Raiders, Ravens, and Patriots, 8, 9, and 10 spot. They are on the button. They are in the hunt. They're in the cunt. In the NFC, you got the Saints at 10-2. They clinched a playoff spot, and they are right now the number one team. Green Bay 9-3, right behind them. 8-4 Rams and 5-7 Giants. I love the sound of that. Well, I don't like the sound of the 5-7 Giants, but I like the sound of the division.
I like the sound.
Division leader Giants.
Division leader. You know, if the season ended today, the Giants would have to play Seattle again at home.
Yeah.
In the first round.
Yeah. Good luck in the playoffs. Seattle 8-4, Tampa Bay 7-5, and Minnesota 6-6 with those final wild card spots. And of course, Arizona and San Francisco at 6-6 and 5-6, along with Chicago and Detroit at 5-7, are on the cusp. They're in the hunt. So it's still a close race in the NFC. I mean, also in the AFC too, but there's more NFC teams on the button right now. You know, so we shall see in the upcoming week or I should say, upcoming weeks.
Did
I
we lose
also want to
50?
point out about Kelsey. Kelsey becomes the only tight end in NFL history to go 5 straight seasons with at least 1,000 receiving yards. So
One of the
Kelsey has
best.
that.
One of the best.
Yep.
Did we lose Sippy?
We did, I think so. But it's fine. Look, we're at an hour and 40 minutes, and we're probably gonna end it now anyway. I gotta go move the car, alternate side, for tomorrow. Not for I already have it on the right spot for today. But James, thank you for coming on, dude. You know, we gotta get you back on the show, you know, if you're ever free again. But thank you for commenting. Thank you for sticking out almost the whole entire show. Sippy, if you watch this later, thank you for coming on. K Cove, it was good to have a new subscriber. A new I don't know if you I don't know why I said subscriber, but a new viewer. Hopefully you did subscribe. I didn't get a notification, but hopefully you did, and hopefully you liked it. And we're here every Monday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. So it was good to get point of view from a Cleveland fan. You know, and of course
Sure.
Jedi earlier coming on and supporting the show as always. But Mike,
Yes,
as
sir.
always, thank you. I appreciate you coming
My
on.
pleasure as always. Thank you for letting me come on and go Big Blue.
Yeah, I'll see you Monday, and with if everything goes right, we should still be in first. Well, I think even with a loss, I think we'll still be in first.
Well, if Washington wins, we'll still be in first due to the
The
tiebreaker.
tiebreaker, yeah, that's why I'm saying I don't think we'll be knocked out at first, but obviously,
No,
look, a Washington loss would be much of a help, as well as the Dallas loss, but more importantly, we need that W on Sunday against the Arizona Cardinals. So,
well, luckily we're playing. Luckily they're playing Pittsburgh, so
yeah, we'll
you
see.
know,
And we'll talk more about
more
those.
difficult.
We'll talk more about these Monday night games tonight and tomorrow's Tuesday night game on next week on Monday. So again, thank you for joining. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. Please smash that like button, notification bell to let us let you know when our beautiful faces are going to be on air. That way you can see all this. And by the way, I'm not wearing a hat because I'm cold. I'm wearing a hat because I need a fucking haircut. It's as simple as that. Joe, why are you wearing a fucking skull cap inside? It's because I don't have my hair. It's a mess. And I just didn't feel like, whatever.
Oh, poor baby.
All right, guys. Well, enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your upcoming weekend. And we will see you again live next Monday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go Big Blue. Have a great day.
Have a good gay guys.
Have a nice gay, Daz.